Breaking news, the Prime Minister has announced all citizens of Hamilton, Ontario are forbidden to work due to the climate change crisis. If you live in Hamilton, you are no longer allowed to provide income for yourself and your family. This decision was made to support our commitment to the Green New Deal and the Paris Accord. In addition, environmental groups have pressured the federal government to shut down Hamilton because they fear it will take away from their future. Hi there, this is Monica Guerrero from the Guru Intelligence Network, and this is Long-Term Investors Corner. This is the headline of the story that is happening or has been happening for decades. But what's behind this headline? Here is a narrative, as if from the Prime Minister's own words. Don't tell anyone, but secretly, I paid the environmental activists and the mainstream media to support the cause for shutting you down, Hamilton, because it benefits me politically. As long as Canadians fear for their future, they will vote for me because I promised to shut you down. And I promised to take care of them. Thankfully, I have the power to print as much money as I like. It gives me the ability to supply millions of dollars to the organizations that support my cause because it buys me votes. Sorry, Hamilton, you don't get any of that money to help you through this shutdown. I prefer to send the money to groups that keep people fearful. Because the more Canadians are afraid for their future, the more powerful I become. Sorry to sacrifice your city, Hamilton. I hope you understand. Don't worry, we will supply you with a fraction of your current pay for about 12 months, after which you are on your own. Don't worry, you can find a job in a clean industry that barely exists, that you are not trained to do, and you have to fight for because there are only enough jobs in this industry to employ about 1/12 of the population of your city. The rest of you, you're on your own. As you find a new source of income, don't bother to start a small business because I will shut it down or tax it to death, whichever one seems more damaging at the time. If you do manage to find another job, that's wonderful. It is probably in another dirty industry that I will kill shortly. Please avoid the following dirty industries that are on my chopping list: the travel industry, hospitality industry, real estate industry, auto industry, manufacturing industry, forestry industry, mining industry, fitness industry, and don't forget the entertainment industry. All of these jobs are on the chopping blocks. So if you get them, well, your income's not secure. Good luck. What? You say that's not fair? You have a right to work and support your family and community? That's ridiculous. No one cares about you, Hamilton. You are dirty. Dirty Hamilton. No one cares what you think. Go away. I will listen to your nonsense no longer. Okay, I made up this story. Hamilton, you're safe for now. However, this could have been any city in Canada with about 500,000 people in it. For example, Brampton, Quebec City, Surrey, Laval, Halifax, London, Markham. If you're in a smaller center, your town and the next town just got on the chopping block as well. So how would you feel if this were your job? If this was your city? If this was your province? Perhaps many of you already know how this feels. You are perhaps in one of the industries hit very hard by the pandemic. If this is you, I truly sympathize. I am so sorry you are going through hard times. I especially am so sorry that the Prime Minister and many Canadians do not care. While this story may not be true for Hamilton, it is a true story for the over 500,000 Canadians that are watching their jobs disappear in the oil industry right now. Perhaps you are in Ontario or Quebec and you think, that's Alberta's industry, I don't care. Well, you would be wrong, because these 500,000 jobs are spread out through every province in the country and all but one territory in Canada. Here's a chart just showing how many jobs are represented in each province and territory throughout the country. The oil industry is Canada's industry, not just Alberta's. The oil industry has been under attack for decades, but the most damaging has been done since 2012, when OPEC, along with environmental activists, have been working overtime to shut the Canadian oil industry down. They claim shutting Canada's oil industry down will help climate change, when nothing can be further from the truth. Canada's oil industry is amongst the cleanest in the world. The entire country, in fact, only produces about 1.6% of global carbon emissions. In fact, more than half of the world's carbon emissions come from China and India alone. Despite working to shut down the oil industry in Canada, demand for oil and gas is actually increasing, largely in part because of the increased demand for solar panels, wind turbines, and goods in general. All of these require tremendous amounts of oil and gas and coal in their production. The world is still using oil. Yeah, I know. Canada is still using oil. In fact, there's no good replacement for oil yet, no matter what the activists say. But for some reason, we prefer to import dirty oil from Saudi Arabia and Venezuela and other not so nice countries on large ocean liners instead of buying and using our own oil transported safely in pipelines, which are low emissions, within our own country. I don't get it. For some reason, even though up to 20% of our tax revenues come from the oil and gas industry, we prefer to kill that source of income by blocking pipelines and access to ports. The same ports that already bring the oil tankers that supply our oil from other countries. For some reason, these tankers are okay from other countries, but the ones from our own country, oh, that's not okay. The oil industry supplies really good paying jobs throughout the entire country and is the only hope that our Indigenous people have to get out of poverty. Killing the oil industry is yet another way we are oppressing their efforts to get out of poverty. Come on, people. We owe the Indigenous people of this country. We owe them the opportunity to provide income and jobs for their families and communities. We Canadians have forced them off their lands and denied them their culture, denied them their children, denied them access to health care, denied them clean water, denied them safe housing for over a century, and it continues to this day. Don't we at least owe them the ability to provide jobs for their own people on their own lands? Come on. The oil industry is the source of innovation, people, in so many areas, not just the oil industry. In recent years, it has provided technology that has reduced not only oil industry's emissions, but global emissions by 30% in certain industries. Many Canadian oil companies are on the forefront of this. Some of them are already at near net zero emissions themselves in their production, and others are getting there very quickly. But not a single media story will carry that story because it doesn't follow the narrative. Every Canadian should be furious with our government right now. The oil industry is Canada's industry, not just Alberta's. It is the source of Canada's prosperity, and the federal government is trying to kill it, along with other supporting industries. The 500,000 jobs that you see here are only the beginning. There are so many other industries that are helped and supported by the oil and gas industry, and they're being killed as well. The next time you hear propaganda coming from the mainstream media, do yourself a favor and ask yourself a couple of questions. What is the true story here? Who is this really impacting? What are they not telling me here? And why are they not telling me it? Surely Canadians are smart enough to think for themselves. Surely Canadians value their freedoms and democracy. A democracy that has all but disappeared since the beginning of the pandemic. Our lost freedoms may never return. History has shown this to be true. As governments take away their citizens' freedoms and our charters of rights, they rarely give them back. Power is the enemy of democracy, and Canada has been taken over by it. Power is killing the oil industry. It is Canada's industry, not Alberta's. It is time we treat it that way. I'm Monica Guerrero, president of the Guerrero Intelligence Network. I hope you really like this video, and I hope I got you thinking. The information in this video is vitally important to our lives, our country, and our democracy. Please like, share this video with as many people as you can. The message needs to get out there. For more thought-provoking videos, please subscribe to the channel as a new video is put out every Friday. This has been Long-Term Investing Corner. Cheers.